here assembled for the 204th commencement of Amherst College, please be in order.
Good morning, Amherst College. Welcome to the 204th commencement of Amherst College. Today is a celebration of our graduates, of their family and friends, and of the generations of Amherst College alumni who have come before us. We come here today from across the world. We gather today with graduates of 42 states of the United States and from 38 nations. I normally read those figures and just move on, but I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Those aren't just facts and figures, they're statements about our values here at Amherst College. At a time when so many are raising questions about the value of having students from diverse backgrounds learn and live together, here we are proud that we find the most extraordinary students from across the country and the world, and then we bring them here to this place. And at a time when international students are being scrutinized and even prohibited, I want to say clearly how proud we are at Amherst that someone would choose to come from abroad to study here at this college. And to all of the families and friends who are here today, whether you're around the block here in Amherst, Massachusetts, or you're coming from across the world, whether you're watching this on live stream, you are welcome here. Before we proceed, though, I want to do something unusual and ask you to look around at this place. Stop looking at the screens and the graduates and your friends. Look at this place that we are and that we're so privileged to be in. As we begin today, let's mark where we are in this place. Let's mark the relationship that the college has had with the town of Amherst that's made it possible for the college to thrive for over 200 years. Let's mark the land that we steward here as a site of connection. The place that we gather today is on the Nonotuck homeland in the Quinnipiac Valley, which has been and still is today a crossroads of multiple Native nations and a place of cultural exchange, home to the Nipmuc and the Wampanoag to the east, to the Mohegan and to the Pequot to the south, the Mohican to the west, and the Abenaki to the north. As we begin our celebration of the graduates of Amherst, let us celebrate the enduring connections between them, this place, and these peoples. And let us also begin by celebrating the people who have come so far, both literally and figuratively, to support today's graduates. And so today, my first invitation, if you're able, will all of the parents, step-parents, guardians, grandparents, great-grandparents, siblings, spouses, aunts, uncles, friends, supporters, please rise. And on behalf of the graduates, we salute you and we give thanks. We give thanks to all of you who have stood behind them, beside them for so many years to make this day possible. Now, will the faculty please rise as you're able, and I ask everyone here to recognize the extraordinary scholars and teachers of Amherst College. Please be seated. Please join me as well in thanking a very special group of people who have worked incredibly hard to make this day possible through their dedication and their devotion, the staff of Amherst College, with whom I've been proud to serve as a colleague. also ask that you join me in recognizing the Board of Trustees who are assembled here on the stage. We thank them for their dedication to the college. Finally, congratulations to our Honorary Marshal, Kenan Janganathan Jagu, the Bruce Benson and Lucy Wilson Benson Professor of Physics, and the 2024 winner of the Jeffrey B. Ferguson Memorial Teaching Prize. We now honor members of the class of 2025 who have achieved particular distinction in their 4 years at Amherst. Please come forward when I call your name. The Obed Finch Slingerland Memorial Prize is awarded by the trustees of the college to a member of the senior class who has shown by determination and accomplishment the greatest appreciation of and desire for a college education. This year's prize is awarded to Khadija Diallo in absentia. The Woods Travis Prize, an annual gift in memory of Josiah Woods of Enfield, Massachusetts, and Charles B. Travis of the class of 1864, is awarded for outstanding excellence in culture and faithfulness to duty as a scholar, and this year's prize is given to Alexandra Olson. It is now my pleasure to introduce the senior chosen by the class of 2025 to address you this morning, Thomas Ye, who graduates today with a double major in mathematics and political science. Tom.
I have to make a confession. I stole something from Amherst and never gave it back. I've kept it for 4 years, and it's followed me across dorms and semesters. I have to come clean. I stole a green to-go box. Remember these? For those of you who don't know, Amherst bought these during COVID to encourage eating outside our dining hall. They were a symbol of convenience, avoidance, stench. Then suddenly, they were gone. Ask anyone from the class of 2026 onwards, and they'll have no idea what we're talking about. But we remember. Some of you might remember these green boxes as an unwelcome COVID reminder. But I see something different, a philosophy. Because inside this box are 3 important lessons that I'm taking to go. Lesson 1, stay green. And I don't just mean eco-friendly green. Remember how green and naive we were freshman year? How in our first month at Amherst, we'd sit next to anyone in the Val tents. No hesitation, no awkwardness, just, hey, mind if I join you? Then for 4 years, we've collectively forgotten how to do that and refused to say hi even when we know someone. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Casey. Why won't you say hi to me? I've noticed this month that a lot of us have suddenly remembered because the end is near. Why did we wait? I wish we all stayed green and channeled the spirit of freshman year more. Look, I know it's hard to stay that optimistic. We as a class have been through a lot together. We've survived a global health pandemic. We've witnessed a war in Ukraine. And we've experienced a huge presidential transition. I mean, when President Elliott came in and took over from Biddy Martin, everyone was up in arms. Another straight white guy. He smiles too much. And why is he lurking at the rave? At first, I was skeptical too, but I've come to realize that what unsettles us about our friendly neighborhood president is just that he's stayed green. He's embodied the best parts of freshman year, saying hi to everyone, going to every event on campus, and getting himself into a lot of awkward conversations. I've seen this friendly greenness in a few others. Renee, who brightens everyone's meal as we enter Val. Math professor Contreras, who sits with anyone for breakfast. And future CEO of LinkedIn, D.A. Mavani, who will help anyone with their homework at midnight. What do they all have in common? They kept their greenness. Look, I'm not telling you all to backtrack to freshman year, but let's move forward and not leave behind openness and curiosity. Be intentionally green moving forward. When you walk by a stranger, say hello and look at them, not at your phone. When your friends want to make plans, take it out of the group chat and make it happen. And let's not wait until our 50-year reunion to finally talk to that Amherst classmate you wanted to talk to. It's hard, I know, but that's why we need to be intentional about it. We've left behind many things from freshman year we don't want to see again. Masks, nose swabs, and 3 times Grammy Award-winning artist Common. But let's stay green. Lesson 2. Pickle. Pickles teach us a lot about how to frame our lives. Because fermentation shows us that in the moment, some things look and smell really bad, but give it time, and you get something pretty good. Like pickles, kombucha, or kids. Embrace the rotten, because sometimes a horrible process is what makes us better. And you can only see that in hindsight. So reframe things the next time something doesn't go your way. When you're suffering through the last weeks of your thesis, you're not just in pain, you're becoming a scholar. When you get a B+ in beginner ballet, like I did, you're not just failing, you're pushing your comfort zones. And when housing forces you to move into a Cohen double or forced triple, point is, no matter what you're facing, a tough assignment, an embarrassing moment, or just bad luck, those things are miserable. How are you going to deal with it? Reframe it. Remember, pickles. Embrace the painful and rotten. My family faced one of these very painful moments last summer with a brain cancer diagnosis. Dad, you've beaten the odds, and I'm so thankful that you're here today. At the time, your sickness was one of the most rotten things I've ever experienced. But looking back, that time brought our family closer together than ever. I learned not to hold back my gratitude, my words, or my love. Despite the pain, we all became stronger. we reframed the rotten as growth. The confidence I've grown into this year hasn't come from success. It's come from surviving this hardship and failure. Many times I felt down. I was actually on my way up. So in these first post-grad years, you're gonna be tempted to compare your success to others. But fermentation takes time. So will your success. I hope you're lucky enough to not always succeed immediately, lucky enough to sometimes fail, and wise enough to wait for the process to finish. The process stinks. Sometimes it feels like you're gonna run in circles for no reason at all, but that's when real progress happens. I did track and field, you can trust me. Be patient. Life's a dream, but sometimes it's first a pickle. Lesson 3, bridge. Bridge is a card game that I've played every Sunday since coming to Amherst. I've played with a lot of seniors, and not just my classmates, because when I say I play bridge, people usually go, "Oh, my grandma plays that." So how did I get involved with a hobby of the Margarets and Gertrudes of the world? I started the way many college activities do, hanging out with your friends freshman year. Unlike most activities, I got involved because Big Mike bribed me during orientation week. He said I could get paid to learn a dying card game. So on Sunday, I showed up to North Common Room at 4 p.m. No questions asked. Now, I hated bridge at first. It's a tough game to learn. You sit at a table and play as a partnership with the person across from you. Lots of rules, lots of teamwork, and lots of frustration. But when the $15 hit my Venmo the next day, unemployed freshman me reconsidered. So my friends and I kept showing up week after week to get paid and learn how to play bridge. Before long, we loved the card game itself, founded the Amherst Bridge Club, and began traveling to tournaments across the world, meeting tons of new people. Full disclosure, we don't pay you to play bridge anymore. So I know it's a tough sell. But even if you don't start playing bridge, I hope you'll remember bridges. Because the unexpected gift of bridge has been the connections it's built me. Bridges that span generations and geographies. Bridge isn't just a card game. It's about partnership. We share strategies with each other, yes, but also stories and life lessons. Each table I've played at is a new conversation and lets me glimpse different life paths. I've played with Jeff, a 40-year-old Canadian teacher, Zia, an 80-year-old Pakistani grandmaster, Bill, a retired biologist, and even Bill Gates. Many friendships I've made through bridge wouldn't have existed if I didn't seek out this connection. So find mentors, learn who to trust, because not all advice is worth taking. Not all advice is worth taking. If you don't believe me, you're already doing a great job. No one does life alone, so lean on our Amherst community. Some of my earliest life advice came from alums who I reached out to. Mike Reed, class of 04, AJ Chianese and Ryan Park, 05, Haoran Tong, 2023, and many, many more. These alums responded to emails from some green freshmen who knew nothing about a career in law, and they spent hours conversing with me. They built me a bridge. Bridges go two ways. What bridge will you build for someone else? In just a few minutes, you'll also be an alum who can start building bridges for others. Take some time to mentor the interns at work, or respond to that Amherst freshman who emails you, because you never know, you might get a shout out at their commencement. Look to receive and create bridges. For me, it started with a silly little card game, bridge. Find your bridge and pay it forward. It's finally time I give my stolen box back. But before I do, seniors, take a moment to ask yourself, what will you take away from your time at Amherst? And what will you give back to others in life after Amherst? It might take a while to answer that, so remember, Amherst isn't going to be just one time or place in our lives. It's going to be an eternal community of friends and a lifelong of explaining that, no, we're different from UMass Amherst. When our parents first sent us here, I'm sure that they hoped we'd become less naive and maybe figure out a life plan. But I hope we leave just as green and still a little uncertain about our road ahead. Because as the poet who we named our kind of ugly Frost Library after once said, "Two roads diverged. I chose the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." I hope you choose the roads not taken. I hope you hold on to your greenness and the things many others would leave behind, because some of those things, like green to-go boxes, are actually worth keeping around. So before I end, I want to thank President Elliott, the Board of Trustees, professors, and all members of the college. You've truly made Amherst special, and it's been an honor to speak today. Thank you, families, for coming all this way. While other commencements get Nobel Prize winners and Kermit the Frog, you got me. Finally, thank you and congratulations, seniors. It was a pleasure to be young with you. As we depart, let's keep these 3 green box lessons in mind. Build bridges, embrace the rotten, and bring our freshman greenness to go.
Thank you, Tom. That was terrific. It's a great pleasure now for me to announce the Phoebe and Zephaniah Swiftmore Teaching Awards. Every year, Amherst College honors 3 outstanding high school teachers who've made a difference in the lives of members of the graduating class. These teachers have challenged and inspired our students and helped make it possible for them to be here today. As I read your names, I ask the teachers and their student nominators to rise or wave to be recognized. The recipients of the 2025 Phoebe and Zephaniah Swiftmore Teaching Awards are Hae-Sik Jung, a music teacher at Indian Springs School in Indian Springs, Alabama, nominated by Eleanor Lee. William Mays, an English teacher at East River High School in Orlando, Florida, nominated by Buron Elizabeth LaBerre. And Courtney Reichert, a mathematics teacher at Mount Ararat High School in Topsham, Maine, nominated by Cora Spelke. Let's have a round of applause for these teachers and all of the teachers who've made it possible for our graduates to thrive here at Amherst College. The Medal for Eminent Service has been awarded by the trustees of Amherst College since 1934 as a means of recognizing exceptional service to the college. This year's medal goes to John Whelan, class of 1958. John is unable to be with us today, but we know he's watching via live stream. John, it's a pleasure to present you on behalf of the Amherst College Board of Trustees and the entire community the 2025 Medal for Eminent Service. With grace and consistency, you've contributed so much to Amherst thriving for 7 decades. You've volunteered in countless alumni leadership roles for your class and for the college, and from your home base in Atlanta, you've served as a gracious host a regional leader, and a steadfast ambassador for Amherst. You and your late wife, Sue, are prominent patrons of the arts in Atlanta. You've been staunch supporters of the Mead Art Museum here on campus, endowing its directorship with gifting important works. And we so appreciate that your children are also active supporters and participants at the Mead. Amherst's bucolic campus inspired the deep appreciation for architectural integrity and the sense of place that are so integral to your successful career, building homes and neighborhoods in Atlanta and throughout the Southeast. You've returned the favor by endowing Wheeland Residence Hall, designed to offer Amherst students of today and tomorrow the same supportive and inspiring experience of connection that affected you so deeply 70 years ago. Throughout your long record of service and philanthropy, you've anticipated Amherst's evolving needs while honoring the college's enduring values. 3 decades ago, we awarded you an honorary doctorate of humane letters in recognition of your outstanding contributions, not only to Amherst, but also to the wider world. And today, we're delighted to celebrate you anew today with the 2025 Medal for Eminent Service. Please join me in celebrating John Wheeland. And John, I'm coming to Atlanta soon to present that to you in person. It's now a great pleasure to confer honorary degrees on behalf of Amherst College. We recognize today individuals who have brought honor to their professions and public service, including 2 of our own distinguished alumni, and others who, by this conferral, become alumni of a special kind. As today we send forth new graduates to serve in the world, we also welcome Amherst honorary graduates who are exemplary in the worlds they've already served and who inspire us to excellence. For the degree of Doctor of Science, Vinton G. Cerf, Internet Pioneer. Vint, father of the internet, architect of our digital era, and advocate for unfettered access to knowledge. Your trailblazing genius has reshaped how the world communicates. Through protocols that unite billions, you've championed technology as a force for human dignity, access, and shared understanding across our global community. We're grateful for your vision and your ongoing stewardship of our digital future. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Amherst College, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations, Vince. For the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, David D. Hickson, class of 1975, basketball coach. Dave, Hall of Fame basketball coach, mentor, and Amherst icon. Your decades of principled coaching and mentorship have shaped champions on and off the court. You became the first and are still the only NCAA Division III coach inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Your extraordinary legacy endures in every Amherst student whose life you've lifted through discipline, heart, and clarity of purpose. We are immensely proud today to award you a second Amherst degree. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Amherst College, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Please join me in congratulating you. For the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Alondra Nelson, sociologist, and public servant. Alondra, sociologist, public servant, and ethical architect of our technological future. You are a pioneering voice in ethical technology governance. Through your work in the White House, the United Nations, and as an academic leader at the Institute for Advanced Study, you are redefining how science serves our shared human dignity. We salute your commitment to advancing equitable technology, creating a roadmap for the ethical governance of artificial intelligence, and illuminating the way toward a more humane technological age. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Amherst College, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. For the degree of Doctor of Laws, Andrew J. Nussbaum, class of 1985, attorney and former chair of the Amherst College Board of Trustees. Andy. Devoted son of Amherst, principal chair emeritus of the Amherst Board of Trustees, Rhodes Scholar, discerning legal mind. Your intellect, integrity, and decades of wise leadership have shaped the college's course with clarity, care, and vision. Your steadfast service is a model of purpose, generosity, devotion to the common good, and a deep, abiding affection for this place. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Amherst College, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. For the degree of Doctor of Letters, Michael L. Whitmore, Shakespeare scholar and digital humanist. Mike, brilliant Shakespeare scholar and devoted steward of our cultural heritage, under your inspired leadership, the Folger Shakespeare Library has grown in size and reach. And as you burnished this cultural gem, you opened its treasures more fully to the world. A pioneer at the intersection of technology and humanities, you bridge past and future, advancing and preserving access to the world's literary and artistic heritage, and ensuring that cultural artifacts endure for generations to come. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Amherst College, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. For the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Rebecca Ziegler-Mano, International Education Advocate. Rebecca, founder of Education Matters and the U.S. Achievers Program, you are an intrepid champion for educational equity. Your bold and compassionate belief that talent is universal even when opportunity is not, has opened pathways for high-achieving, low-income students across Africa to pursue higher education around the world. You've transformed futures and empowered a global network of college graduates who return to their home communities as leaders, changemakers, and catalysts for opportunity. Your mission resonates powerfully with ours, and we're honored to welcome you as an honorary alumna. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Amherst College, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. And now the Amherst College Glee Club, led by choral director Ariana Bella, will perform 3 gifts composed by Lisa Smith van der Linden of the class of 1989. This month marks an interesting anniversary. 20 years ago, the author David Foster Wallace, who graduated from Amherst in 1985, went to Kenyon College in Ohio, and he gave one of the very few truly memorable speeches ever delivered at a college graduation. You may have read this speech, some of you, or you may have heard about it. It begins with the story of an older fish swimming past a pair of younger ones. "Good morning, boys," says the older fish. "How's the water?" After he goes past, one of the young fish turns to the other and says, "What the hell is water?" It's a brilliant speech, and it is, to be honest, much better than the one you're about to hear. And I take as its central message that a liberal arts education offers you the chance to achieve a particular kind of freedom. The freedom that enables us to comprehend the water in which we swim all day, every day. The freedom especially to escape the tyrannical force of your own self-centeredness, to pry loose the chains that hold us all in place as the constant heroes of our own stories. Wallace isn't talking here about some kind of grand enlightenment or about liberation in a political sense. He's talking about something much more mundane. Learning to go through the absurdities and nonsense of everyday life, traffic, tax returns, insurance forms, or to use examples that you in the class of 25 might be more familiar with, workday, lines in Val, broken elevators. He's talking about learning to go through the muck of everyday life and choosing to use your capacity to think, to afford those around you grace and dignity. In teaching you how to think, a liberal arts education offers you the ability to choose where and how you will direct your attention. A liberal arts education offers you that freedom, and you can use that freedom to worship money, power, or art, or inquiry, or justice, or any combination of these things. You have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom to choose, as Professor Bradley, who was channeling his inner Charles Hamilton Houston, said at a senior assembly, the freedom to choose between being a social engineer or a parasite. You can use your freedom to invite other people in or to shut them out. In his speech, David Foster Wallace put it this way: the really important kind of freedom, he said, involves attention and awareness and discipline and being able to truly care about other people and to sacrifice for them over and over in myriad petty, unsexy ways every day. That kind of freedom, the kind that demands intellectual discipline and emotional generosity, that kind of freedom doesn't happen all at once. But during the 3 years that I've known you here, class of 2025, I've seen you reach for it. I've watched you produce performances and concerts and even an original musical. I listened to your arguments with each other and sometimes with me in the Red Room. And I've sat and talked with you and Val about everything from Arendt's theories of justice to the social dynamics of this campus to your peculiar collective fixation with the results of the marriage pact. What has struck me most is not your talent or your passion, but your capacity to ask real searching questions of each other, of your professors, of the world around you, and of me. A couple of weeks ago, I started putting together this speech, and I thought back to my very first day on campus as president in August of 2022, when I went down to the Science Center, and I met a number of you at a popsicle event. So I actually went and looked in my journal to see what I wrote there. Here's what it says. Quote, did a popsicle event, I remember, good memory, did a popsicle event with summer research students. It was the first time I was really surrounded by students and asked all the questions. What should they call me? What do I think about the food in Val? What am I going to change? Why would I want to be president? Where did I live when I was a student? They were fun and funny and smart, but the questions would not stop. I was cornered by someone named Caden, who told me about his 4-hour film and then asked me what I think about capitalism. Welcome back to Amherst. Questions. The hallmark of a liberal arts education is to realize that a great question, how's the water, can be just as important, if not more important, than a great answer. The beating heart of Amherst is in our belief in the freedom of questioning, in the power of unfettered curiosity, in thinking that is not restrained by orthodoxy, in questioning that can be challenging, discomforting, and even a little bit rude. What this class of 2025 has shown me is that this kind of curiosity can also be joyful. Together, you've created new clubs, new bridges, as Tom just said. You've pushed the boundaries of knowledge. You've made meaningful contributions to the community. A few weeks ago, I had the chance to watch the 3-minute thesis competition, and every single one of those projects started with a great question. How do our cells share information? How can we use data to prevent gun violence? How do laws create racial disparities? I've said this before, and I think it bears repeating. Amherst College is a place, it's a group of people, but it is nothing if it is not first an idea, a commitment to the power of uncompromised thinking, to a conviction that we should come together and learn together with passion, with openness, alive to possibility. That's the kind of education that leads somebody like your classmate, Ale Ajawo, to say at Senior Assembly, Amherst didn't just teach us, it grew us. Right now, here in this country, we're losing danger of the fact that real learning, we're in danger of losing sight of the fact that real learning, rigorous learning, the kind of learning that leads to an education and not just a degree, that kind of learning requires the kinds of questions and questioning that you all have developed here. Curiosity matters. After today, after I hand you that diploma, what will serve you best will not be anything on your transcript. It will be in your powerful ability to ask questions, to work with others to examine them from every angle, and then to make judgments about how to move forward. It will be in your capacity to remain curious and keep learning. At Amherst, you've had both the opportunity and the responsibility to cultivate that curiosity. We've trusted you with a curriculum that afforded you an unusual degree of autonomy. You've had a chance to shape and mold the culture of this campus. You've been partners to the faculty and to the staff and to me. And I want to take a moment to thank personally from the stage those of you who have spent time with me in the last 3 years to help me think about what it means to be an Amherst student today. Whether we've talked about the strain of learning to live together in a polarized political climate, your concerns about whether Amherst is doing all it can to contribute to our greater community, or your advice for me about where I should turn my own attention. Whether you spent your time on the stage at Gads or Buckley, whether you shared a walk with me across the quad, a cheer on the playing field, or even a selfie at the rave, you made me a better president, and you brought me joy, and I'm grateful. What we have done together, all of us here at Amherst, has been possible because of our shared commitment to intellectual freedom. About 110 years ago, one of my predecessors, Alexander Meiklejohn, wrote that, quote, "The question whether or not a college is free is meaningless. An institution which is not intellectually free is not a college." I love Meiklejohn. I have a kind of weird presidential crush on him. But he's not entirely right here. It turns out that the question of whether or not a college is free is not entirely meaningless. It is, in fact, a question that is being put before us in quite a meaningful manner. Well before this year and this president, There have been too many legislators and too many members of Congress on both sides of the aisle that have questioned the value of this freedom, that have sought to constrain what we teach, how we teach, and who we admit to teach. Make no mistake, Amherst College is an incredibly strong institution. It has survived wars and pandemics, scandals and protests. Amherst College will endure. But the Amherst College that you have all known, the Amherst College that I knew as a student, the quality that makes Amherst Amherst, that is only going to be possible if we are prepared to vigorously defend it and ensure that the waters of intellectual freedom flow freely. For Amherst to be Amherst, it's essential that we preserve this freedom not only by exercising its privileges, but by also embracing its responsibilities. We need to remind ourselves constantly that this freedom carries with it an obligation to pursue the truth relentlessly and without compromise. Amherst, as Meiklejohn said, must be a place, quote, in which the human mind is seeking deliverance from its bonds, the bonds of partial knowledge and self-interest. Or as David Foster Wallace might have put it, we have to keep asking, what's water? That ideal requires that we admit that our own knowledge is always partial and self-interested. It requires that we treat ideas, even those that make us uncomfortable, with fairness and rigor, and even that we seek out perspectives that challenge our own. That is a high bar, and in fact, it's an impossible ideal to reach. But we must recommit to that ideal if we want to stop the erosion of intellectual freedom that threatens to crumble the ground underneath our feet. Right now, too many people beyond this quad, and maybe, let's be honest, even a few of here today, think that we've lost sight of that ideal, and they've lost their confidence, their trust in Amherst and in institutions like us. We did not lose this trust overnight, and it's not the result of any single election. It's the product of a sense that's been growing over decades that the benefits of Amherst accrue to a small number of graduates, but not to anyone else. It's a product of the belief that we've abandoned our pursuit of academic excellence in favor of political orthodoxy, that we don't make room for all voices and all perspectives here. And it's a product of the perception that we have insulated ourselves from those who would challenge us. We need not abandon our principles to meet our critics with curiosity and with conviction. We can stand our ground without standing apart. But let's be clear, we're paying a high price for ignoring our critics instead of engaging them. Trust doesn't vanish overnight, and it won't return with a commencement speech or an op-ed. It has to be earned through our actions, through real dialogue, through a willingness to reckon with how we're seen, not just who we believe ourselves to be. Amherst can and should be. Amherst will be one of the institutions that rebuilds this sense of trust. We can do this because of a faculty that believes in education, not in indoctrination. We can do this because of the commitment of our graduates demonstrated over generations to serve the greater good. We can do this because of the singularity of our devotion to the most talented students we can find, regardless of their background, and to engaging them in an education of deep, genuine learning. We can do this because of our unceasing commitment to academic excellence. Graduates, we're getting close to the end here, I promise you. And usually this is the point of the speech, the point in which, of the speech in which I tell you that because you've worked so hard and you have so much potential, I know you're going to be successful, and I can't wait to see what you do in the world. And all of that is true. But today, on this Sunday morning, here in this quad, I need to tell you something else, class of 2025. I need to tell you the truth. The truth is that if we're going to make sure that the class of 2035, the class of 2045, the class of 2055, and all of the classes that follow have the same opportunity that you had, then I'm going to need your help to preserve and advance the freedom of the college. When you leave this place, you, every single one of you in a mortarboard and a black gown today, you are going to be our best ambassadors for why this kind of freedom matters, for why this kind of learning matters, for why curiosity matters. We need you to speak up for the value of Amherst. We need you to show the world by what you do and what you say why Amherst matters, because there are simply too many people in the world who believe that it does not. When you cross this stage, you will not only become the proud owner of an Amherst diploma, you will become the keeper of something rarer still, an Amherst education. A deep and joyful commitment to learning, questioning, arguing, and imagining. You will become a steward, a guardian of the weird and wonderful waters in which you have swum. The world you are about to enter will sometimes pretend places like this aren't necessary or valuable. It will reward certainty even when it's wrong. It will celebrate the fastest take, the loudest voice, the easiest solution. It will tell you loudly, expensively, and often that curiosity is inefficient and that freedom is inconvenient. Don't you believe it? Not for a second. Class of 2025, hold fast to what you've built here. Hold fast to your friends and to your passions. Hold fast to your habits of mind and heart, the courage to ask hard questions, the humility to hear uncomfortable answers, the grace to change your mind, and the stubborn, sometimes irrational belief that thinking hard and caring deeply still matter in the world. And when the days feel long or absurd or just ordinary, when you're stuck in traffic or you're lost in a spreadsheet or waiting in yet another line, remember David Foster Wallace's question, how's the water? Here at Amherst, the water has been deep and rich and strange and full of life. But it will only stay that way if we protect it and explore its depths. So dive, keep wondering, keep choosing again and again the kind of freedom that has room for us all. Congratulations, class of 2025. I'm going to miss you.
Praises to the college on the hill, we shall sing them wherever we may be. For the name of Amherst College resonates and always will, both at home and across the sea. Both at home and across the sea. From its classrooms and athletic fields where Amherst shines its light, and to it we shall ever be true. Amherst welcomes all the challenges that come within its sight, and looks around for more when there are few. Oh, Amherst, 'tis a name known to fame from shore to shore. May it ever be glorious, till the sun shall climb the heavens no more. Since the days of Amherst founding back in 1821, it's excelled as the college on the hill. The memories of its graduates and honors they have won abide here among us still. Abide here among us still. You may talk about your Wesley and your Williams and the rest, for these schools will always play their part. But give us a Ferris College which has proven it's the best. Till the end it will be in our hearts. Oh, Amherst, our Amherst, 'tis a name known to fame from shore to shore. May it ever be glorious, till the sun shall climb the heavens no more.
Take us home!
Oh, Amherst, our Amherst, 'tis a name known to fame from shore to shore. May it ever be glorious, till the sun shall climb the heavens no more.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please come forward? Belaine Abdurrahman, in absentia. Stephanie Abrego Diaz. Bela Uchaibar. Jennifer Adams. Nick Addison. Farida Adejumo, in absentia. Revival Afalabi. Beatrice Agby. Isabella Indrani Ahmad. Umaima Noor Ahmed. Olamiposi Ajawo. Nejarti Toner Ukunjuk. Tara Alahakon. Zoe Anais Alakon. Nathaniel Albert. Jaredson Alexandre. Danya Zainab Ali. Laura Almeida. Adriana Almendares Castillo. Maristela Alvarez Benitez. Isabel Anderson. Ricardo Andrade Hidalgo. Lenore Vida Arce. Eric Arciniega. Vaughn Wayne Armour. Mel Arthur. Gabrielle Avena. Charlotte Averill. Atik Azme. Ola Wakaikume Babatunde Akinagbe. Laith Baluli. Anika Bajaj. Joshua Joaquim Balderas. Corey Barrick, in absentia. Connor Barnes. Eric Batulgo. Anna Baxter. Elisa Solange Belroche. Gianfranco Jaradias Beran Brave Rojas. Eliza Berner. Fiona Snowden Burnett. Andrew Bernstein. Lucas Simon Bernstein. Catherine Anse Besh. Robert Fowler Bischoff. Kyla Marie Biscocho. Pauline Bissell. Sydney Logan Bluestein. Adam Greening Blumoff. Jack Henry Boyle. Antonia Lucia Brillenberg. David Brown. Benjamin Nicholas Bruno. Jacob Bruno. Kayla Michelle Bush. Emily Purcell Byers. Andy Byun. Jacqueline Cabarubia. Brianna Cajamarca. Yareli Calderon Romero. Sam Callahan. Benjamin Andrew Callan. Claire Callan. Angie Camarena. Russell Alexander Campbell. Piero Campos. Eliza Cardwell. Timothy Tenzin Carroll. Jackson Parks Carter. Amadis Mia Castro. Sonia Chage Wides. Mason Anthony Chandler. Supriya Ine Chang. Hannah Charinya. Carlin Elizabeth Chazin. Ada Chen. Angela Ching Chen. Stephen Chen. Stephen Chen. Michael Cheng. Sujit Chapuri. Evelyn Chi. Soyan Choi. Solomon James Christopher. Alma Clark. Ben Clark Eden. Micah Collins. In absentia, Brian Conceso. Alexandra Jessica Conklin. Michelle Alanis Contreras Catalan. Dustin Copeland. John Cox. Stephen Allen Crawford II. Gilbert Crescencio. Kinsey Ray Cronin. Michelle Guzman Cruz. Ignacio Cubedu. In absentia, Amy Sway. Shayla Cunningham. Aiden Curtis. Karina Svianovich. Maya Qualina. Richa Carmel de Mello. Mateusz Cochino da Silva. Kevin Tianjin Dai. Clara Danhoff. Laurel Cordelia Biddle Davidson. Bryce Renee Beatrice Dawkins. Nicholas Gipinu. Jason DeGraff. Jameson DeNice. Regina Derry. Olivia Luetta DeVol. Onik Day. Khadija Diallo, in absentia. Paige Maria DeBias. Hannah Elizabeth Demas. Zachary DeLugas. Isaiah Murray Doble. Nora Bell Doctor. Charlotte Dorothy Domitner. Yue Christine Dong. Brett Allen Donchik. Lawrence Doyle. Jai Dreyer. Cassidy Duncan. Jack Ferendi Dunham. Mackenzie Lynn Dunson. Sophia Margaret Kim Durbin. Nicholas Edwards Levine. Casey Anna Kaylin Eifrig. Alexa Brielle Odeshi Ekelar. Kobe Ellen Bogan. Mina Anayati Useta. Aspen Enfees. Tate Eppinger. Wendy Espinosa. Senanu Kwame Esegbe. Eliza Faraday. Sophie Farinas. Elise Sarah Farley. Emma Marie Farshid. Nicole Fernandez. Tyler Fields. Peter Youngmin Finnerty. Liam Flaherty. Patrick Forbes. Eads Fouché. Teddy Brecking. Delilah Charles Friedman. Jordan Gangaram. Armando Garcia. Melanie Garcia. Jaden William Tassan Garrett. Camilo Garza. Owen Bentley Gatos. Daniela Carolyn Andrade Gelles. Efrata Getacho. Alexander Robert Giacobbi. Eve Marie Giancarlo. Megan Renee Gilday. Violet Juan Glickman. Benjamin Dean Goff. Samantha Goldhurst. Isabel Gomez. Jordan Gomez. Ryan Gomez. Isaiah Kuyakalani Gonzalez. Anika Graff, in absentia. Paul Grajol. Matthew Granovsky. Margaret Duncan Grozek. Abhimanyu Gupta. Kevin Gutierrez. Naomi Alam Habtu. Ivy Jade Haight. Christopher Halada. Miriam Hamada Pena. Lilia Hammond. Alexander Hahn. Caitlin Hart. Sarah Hasagawa Howard. Maximilian Dang Hauschild. Finn Peyton Ruffner. Camden James Hafitz. Zach Hebert. Jordan Hecker. Noah Ernest Helmke. Niall Patrick Henderson. Rachel Avra Hendrickson. Victoria Alexis Henry. Abby Hernandez. A.D. Hernandez. Freddie Herrera Cueva. Ella Rebecca Hers. Alexander Haywood. Akora Hickson. Kari Marie Hickson. Catherine Marie Hoffman. Carter Roque Hollingsworth. Aaron Nigel Holton. Janae Hong. Dylan Walter Shu. Charlotte Olivia Huang. Jessica Huang. Megan Huang. Walter Hancock Huffman. Melanie Schuyler Huck. Kyle Herr. Alisa Bell Nguyen. Rehana Iran Manesh. Angel Isaac. Zinel Islam. Amisha Jan. Autumn Muriel James. Brittany Zhang. Wan Ting Jiang. Caitlin Elizabeth Johnson. Adam Anthony Arthur Johnson Hill. Zoe Ann Jonas. Osha Jones. Shreya Narendra Joshi. Amelie Justo Sainz. David Kairu. Simon Kalinauskas. Leo Rivers Kamen. Linka Jones Kamiha. Jason Kang. Isin Karen Kong. Sydney Kang. Neil Kapoor. William Shapira Carrette. Christy Casbo. Nakash Abhinav Kathuria. Monet Kawano. Abby Suzanne Kays. Sydney Keating. Charlotte Kellogg. Maria Khan. Zane Kyrie Lee Briggs. Emily Kim. Hannah Kim. Jacqueline Kim. Juyub Kim. Josh Kim. Kenny Kim. Minji Kim. Sean Kim. Stormy King. Mia Kinteroglu. Shayna Kleinberg. Peter Klashevitz. Hunter Ane Kloss. James Andrews Knowlton. Anna Coe. Arden Esri Kolodner. Hannah Koo. Nicholas Gregory Kopp. Bryn Olivia Corpy. Lily Madeline Krakoff. Sydney Kulik. Patience Coombe. Benjamin Joseph Kuzma. Wu Yun Quen. Mohammed Yusuf Lababidi. Brianne Elizabeth Labert. Allison Charlotte Lacroix. Francis Xavier Lally. Lawson Thomas Laverty. Madeline Rose Lawson. Jordan Caroline Leaf. Eleanor Yejun Lee. Hannah Lee. Hanan Lee. Irene Min Young Lee. Karen Somin Lee. Priscilla Lee. Maurice Robert Hawkins Leon. Connor Leslie. Jeremiah Levy. Guan Yun Liang. Mitchell Likens. Kay Lim. Christian Limon. Rachel Allison Lynn. AJ Longo. In absentia, Robert Lawrence Luca. Tyson Matthew Luna. Gabriele Lunardi. Harrison Lundy. Claire Frances Macero. Karina Estrella Maciel. Admire Theophilus Majira. Roxanne Main. Elena Isabel Malik. Daniel Mallory. Isabella Lourdes Malmquist. Gent Malushaga. Muntaha Mamoon. Catherine Manazar. Christian Manzi. Daniel Peter Martin. Pepe Martin. Catherine Louise Mason. Michael Mason. Ellerman Mateo Mateo. Shreya Susan Matthew. D.A. Dharmendrukumar Mavanagi. Samantha West Maynard. Eleanor Lynn MacArthur. Vale Curran McCaffrey. Wyatt McCarthy. Jack McDermott. Charlotte McGuire. Ryan McIntyre. Tia Malia McKinney. Hugh McLaughlin. Samuel Melcher. In absentia, Joseph Mendoza. Gabriel Mercedes. Tor Peterson Medelman. Dylan Christopher McColis. Gabrielle Mikhail. C.J. Mitchell. Michael Mitchell. In absentia, Piper Moring. Kauthara Moraquino. Ava Mori. Phoebe Thompson Mugford. Aimee Césaire Mujishawayo. Luke Munch. Niall Murphy. Karina Nanan. Phoebe Judith Nielsen. Quinn Adana Nelson. Ethan Eugene Nushwander. Baviet Guang Nguyen. Christy Nguyen. Jocelyn Nichols Lockett. Elijah Niedert. Hazen No. Emily Rose Nori. Jonathan Charles Novak. Erin Elizabeth Ngazi Wachuku. Claire Beatrice O'Callahan. Jack William O'Hara. Osasikemwe Ogeba. Alexandra Olson. Jaden Christian Olson. Josephine Olugbame. Emmanuel Olugbeko. Edred Michael Opie. Medina Araz. Luke Ortiz Whittingham. Owner Ozdemir. Henry Allen Pallison. Harris Nathaniel Curhan Panner. Elizabeth McKinley Papalia. Tanmai Pathak. Darren Anaya Patan. Reese Antonio Paulino. Margot Peterson. Petra Pites Diaz. Michael Robert Perales. Isabel Fernandez Perozic. Artis Phillips. Austin Peck. Naya Pino. Sophia Claire Price. Langston Christopher Tongsuti Prince. William Jasper Tongsuti Prince. Gabriel Proya. Graham Patrick Quigley. Luisa Fabiola Quinones Marufo. Sam Ramirez Arevalo. Jesus Ramirez Tapia. America Rangel. Corlin Raymond. Tyra Redwood. Maya Gabrielle Reiner. Canon Xavier Reynolds. Alexander DeWitt Rich. Jaden Richards. Annika Ridke. Manuel Rincon. Mariana Rivera Donsky. Abigail Robbins. Alexei Michael Robin. Jack Roach. Rebecca Marisa Rock. Rachel Rogers. Sierra America Rosaldo. Elizabeth Ann Rose. Anna Patricia Rosenman. Andrew Jacob Rosen. Inez Chisina Rossi. Gracie Rowland. Ethan Ruderman. Kevin Yunwoo Roo. Yerkajan Yerko Sahiba. Emily Salas. Nikhil Kiran Saldana. Jack Anthony San Pedro. Julia Matus dos Santos. Guilherme Santos Rocha in absentia. Natasha Savianu. Ali Sibe. William Marshall Shearer. Dylan Shore. Julia Marin Shore. Angelica Segovia. Tapti Shen. Jiho Sa. Anya Serbina. Camille Sylvia Schilland. Billy Sjogren. Lydia Silver. Hetty Scully. Rachel Scholar. Philip Slaughter. Jacinta Smith. Camille Isabella Smith. Catherine Emma Martin Smith. Patrick J. Smith, Jr. Sydney Smith. Sarah Sob. Robert James Summers. Peyton Sorensen. Cora Ann Spelke. Kelsey Stewart. Maisie Reeves Stewart. Olivia Stewart. Caden Stockwell. Emma Weiss Strawbridge. Alexandria Marlene Stewart. Olivia Suarez. Luxie Sun. Joe Gleason Sweeney. Rafe Tabussum. Sophia Taberski. Isa Taha Stern. Liam Eros Tunglao. Eugene Benjamin Taylor. Slate Taylor. Lawrence Tenkate. Sophia Tennant. Deb Thayer. Stephen Maximilian Thiessen. Anaya Thomas. Joseph Thomas. Nathaniel Thomas. Victoria Carmen Thomas. Yuchen Tian. Isabel Ann Tilney Sandberg. Orin Tershwell. Wolfgang Dylan Tobiasen in absentia. Matthew Toporowski. Nicholas Torres. Danielle Christine Torres Wera. Ashley Tran. Chris Toon. Julius Tyson. Dominic Uko Eta Udaukan. Mikkel Valadez Bush. Robin Maria Valverde. Callie Van Leeuwen. Everett Van Waveren. Riker Joseph Vance. Paul Vandervoort. Olivia Velasquez Steele. Enling Su Vera. Elias Alberto Villanueva Gomez. Emily Lynn Ni Vu. Eleanor Daniel Cudahy Walsh. Scott Wang. Lindsay Ward. Bryce Warfield. Gabriella Elizabeth Weaver. Julia Castro Weiss. Sander Finkelstein Weiss. Malva Week. Devin Wilderman. Stephen Robert Williamson Jr. Rachel Eden Willick. Jasmine Willis. Sylvan Patricia Wold. Sylvia Claiborne Wolf. Jian Wan. Theodore Woodward. Heywan Worku. Sarah Wu. Iris Diang Xia. Jonathan Ching. Alisa Xu. Erica Xu. Jaming Shu. Michael Shu. Alex Yan. Maggie Young. Tom Ye. Fiona Biniam Johannes. Jacob Young. Ahanu Youngblood. Andrew Ewan. Ashley Ewan. Lauren Ewan. Anthony Joseph Jacario. Julia Zacher. Anya Zak. Fahim Zumon. Sophia Zabatoni Veth. Anthony Zhang. Hibiscus Zhang. Jeff Zhang. Jerry Zhang. Anna Jing Zhao. Jeffrey Zhou. Ziji Zhou. Ava Elizabeth Pecoraro Zielinski. And Ruth K. Zura. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Elliott, on behalf of the faculty of Amherst College, it is my pleasure, honor, and privilege to certify that all candidates upon whom the faculty has voted to confer degrees have fulfilled all the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts degree.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Amherst College, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Please, one more round of applause to the class of 2025 who worked so hard, who came here in COVID. You can be seated. Members of the audience are requested to remain in their places while the trustees, faculty, invited guests, and graduating class leave the quad. A buffet luncheon will be served on Valentine Quad immediately following the commencement exercises, and I hope you'll all join us. Will the Honorary Marshal please bring these proceedings to a close?
The 204th commencement exercises of Amherst College are now concluded.